The words of Honorable Mr. Justice Shivraj Patil, sitting judge of the Supreme Court, that he has visited several spiritual institutions, but he has not found a special jurist wing to deal with the problems of the modern world. And the Brahma Kumaris pay such a nice attention to our noble profession that they have this special jurist wing, which is established, and also this is a special unique honor for our jurist professionals. Secondly, this is a unique conference as far as we in jurist wing are concerned. So far in the judiciary history of this noble profession, no such attempt is made to organize a special conference only and exclusively for the High Court and Supreme Court judges. We want to create that family atmosphere in which BK family members can mix freely with this family of judges and explain in detail various spiritual concepts and principles, so also we can discuss here in that free and frank atmosphere implications of divine laws and their relationship with the worldly laws, and that what should be our connection with God and Supreme, God the Supreme, who is also Supreme Justice. It is said that if we change, world will change, and so let us try to transform our courts into temples of justice. Let all of us work under the guiding hands and umbrella of God the Supreme. Let us all study Raj Yoga so that we can have better power of judgment due to fuller concentration and attention. All these and many more things will be discussed here, and in the end of this 3 days conference, we will present our vision for bringing about a better social order based on purity, truth and renunciation, or say tapasya. With these words, I request our divine sisters to present flowers and badges to all the special guests on the dais. Brother A.R. Lakshmanan, Honorable Justice of Supreme Court.
आरती ले भारती है पत्नी हारती, मूल्य भरे दृश्य ले आई नव सदी। स्वागत करे मिलके सतयुग का हम, आइए बढ़ाइए आप भी कदम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। आरती ले भारती है पत्नी हारती, मूल्य भरे दृश्य ले आई नव सदी। स्वागत करे मिलके सतयुग का हम, आइए बढ़ाइए आशा व विश्वास के लाखों चमन खिले, साथ में भगवान को भी हाथ है मिले। आशा व विश्वास के लाखों चमन खिले, साथ में भगवान को भी हाथ है मिले। आपके कदम चले कदमों कदम चले, जब चमन में चैन अमन फूले फले। विघ्न आपदा के आए कितने ही झोंके, सत्य पथ का कारवां रुकता नहीं रोके। खुद बदल के जग बदलने का यह मौसम, स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम। आरती ले भारती है पत्नी हारते, मूल्य भरे दृश्य लिए आई नव सदी। स्वागत करें मिलके सतयुग का हम, आइए बढ़ाइए आप भी कदम। स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम।
अभी हमारे यहाँ पर गुलदस्ते के द्वारा और बेजिस के द्वारा और नृत्य के द्वारा स्वागत हुआ, परंतु मधुरवाणी ग्रुप अपने गीतों के द्वारा भी स्वागत करना चाहेंगे। तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ मधुरवाणी ग्रुप को कि आप सभी आए और हमारे सब जजिस का स्वागत करें।
शुभ दिन है आया आज का, वो शुभ घड़ी आई, इससे बड़ी है क्या खुशी, मिलने को माई। रंग जाए जो आध्यात्म में कानून की तस्वीर, पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। रंग जाए जो आध्यात्म में कानून की तस्वीर, पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे हैं भाग्य हमारे, प्रिय मेहमान पधारे हैं भाग्य हमारे, प्रिय मेहमान पधारे। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे हैं भाग्य हमारे, प्रिय मेहमान पधारे हैं भाग्य हमारे, प्रिय मेहमान पधारे। ये प्रणाली रही अब तक जो अधूरी, अध्यात्म समावेश है बेहद ही जरूरी। अध्यात्म का मतलब है कथनी करनी एक हो, संकल्प बोल कर्म सुखद और नेक हो। संकल्प बोल कर्म सुखद और नेक हो। अन्याय और अनीति की, अन्याय और अनीति की तब टूटेगी जंजीर, पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे। तो इसे आँख मिलेगा, बेहद गगन को मापने को पाँख मिलेगा। कानून है अंधा तो इसे आँख मिलेगा, बेहद गगन को मापने को पाँख मिलेगा। ओम शांति काय नीति शास्त्र तो पढ़िए, इस राजयोग के राजपथ पे तो बढ़िए। शिव शक्तियों के संग चले, शिव शक्तियों के संग चलिए, हरने सबकी पीर। पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे। आए सभी संकल्प ले बदलेंगे व्यवस्था, फिर से जगत को दे वही संपूर्ण अवस्था। जहाँ प्रेम नेम समता ममता का विशद विधान, ईश्वर के संविधान में कल्याण ही कल्याण। ईश्वर के संविधान में कल्याण ही कल्याण। अंधेर नहीं देर नहीं, अंधेर नहीं देर नहीं, हो नहीं अधीर। पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे। रंग जाए जो आध्यात्म में कानून की तस्वीर, पल भर में पलट जाएगी इस दुनिया की तकदीर। वो ख्वाब हकीकत में उतारे कि उतारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे, हैं भाग्य हमारे प्रिय मेहमान पधारे।
कि हमारा भाग्य है कि आप सब जुरिस्ट विंग से संकलित जजिस, ऑनरेबल जजिस हमारे यहाँ पर प्रांगण में पधारे हैं। इसीलिए आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हैं। अभी समझो जो ओम शांति जूरिस्प्रूडेंस करके ये विंग ने उठाया है, जिसका ऑनरेबल जस्टिस मिस्टर कृष्णा आयर बहुत ही सुंदर वो आना चाहते थे यहाँ पर, परंतु क्या हो गया कि वो एक डॉक्टरेट की डिग्री लेने के लिए कार में जा रहे थे। जैसे चंद्रबाबू नायडू का हो गया कल एक्सीडेंट, वैसे इससे कार एक्सीडेंट उन्हों का हो गया, जिसमें ड्राइवर्स बहुत सीरियसली इंजर्ड हो गए और कृष्ण नायर जी भी काफ़ी घायल हो गए हैं। तो भी उन्होंने अपना बहुत ही सुंदर बहुत ही अच्छा संदेश इस कॉन्फ्रेंस की सक्सेस के लिए भेजा है। और फिर कई अन्य जजेस भी आने वाले थे। हमारे पास लिस्ट थी 150 जजेस को आने की, परंतु वो कुछ न कुछ बहाने से नहीं आ पाए हैं। तो उसमें से थोड़े कुछ जजेस ने के संदेश भी यहाँ पर आए हैं, वो भी उनके नाम आपको बता देंगे। तो मैं सुनील भाई पटेल, जो बॉम्बे के अंदर सॉलिसिटर है और उनकी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और वो सुनील भाई पटेल को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ कि आप आकर के यहाँ पर अपना कृष्ण नायर जी का और अन्य जजेस का संदेश सुनाएं। सुनील भाई पटेल।
यहाँ ये कॉन्फ्रेंस में काफ़ी जजेस आने वाले थे। हिमाचल प्रदेश के गवर्नर साहब भी आने वाले थे, बट कोई ना कोई वजह से वो नहीं आ सके, मगर उन्होंने अपने मैसेजेस भेजे हैं। रिटायर्ड जस्टिस कृष्णा अय्यर साहब ने मैसेज भेजा है दादी जी के नाम का। उसमें उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बात लिखी है, मैं आपको पढ़ के सुना रहा हूँ। योर होलीनेस प्रकाश मणि दादी जी, Mount Abu is hallowed place and a conference on Om Shanti jurisprudence is so dear to me. Sponsored by the Brahma Kumari movement. Law becomes lofty only when the values of Dharma and Shanti are integrated with jurisprudence. Therefore, your pioneer project, bringing together jurists from everywhere, spreading the message of the purity, peace and human rights will make revolutionary impact on legal system the world over. Brother Ramesh Bhai, with your blessings, has made this grand undertaking to humanize law, divine justice, and transform the judicial process itself a noble contribution. I have stood by here in this great process because of my conviction that the law without justice and justice without spiritual value will not take humanity to the heaven of harmony and peace. I should have been attending the conference at Mount Abu on 2nd October under normal circumstances. Unfortunately, I have been suffering from certain intestinal malady. I am under medical treatment for nearly 2 months, cancelling all engagements. I made one exception 2 days ago of traveling to Calicut University for receiving a doctoral degree as a matter of distinction. But on the way, I met with a car accident. I have pain all over my body and some injury on my leg. On medical advice, all journeys outside my home are abandoned. Doctors are attending on my injuries. Shiv Baba will project me and your blessing will heal me. In these circumstances, I am constrained to give up the trip to participate in the spiritual oriented jurisprudence conference. I know you will understand my plight and forgive me for my absence. And the message, it reads like this. Jurisprudence in its functional essence, a social engineering geared to guarantee stability, sanity and harmony in society, as well as to defend human rights, purity and peace of every person, man or woman. Om Shanti is great expression of the finest values in humanity to preserve, which is the purpose of law and justice. Judges and lawyers belongs to a noble professions, not money-making occupation. The legal fraternity, in this larger sense, has to serve the people so that injustice does not disturb tranquility. This is the spiritual foundation of the justice system, which functions free from fear and favor. In our complex society, where corruption creeps in and money powers malignly operates, justice has to be spiritually vigilant. Lawyers and judges should be independent, unconcerned with affection or ill will. This dharma is the soul of jurisprudence in its many dimensions. I plead with my brethren of the breach and the bar to do their duty, sacrifice all temptations, and remember that to do right and justice is the fulfillment of Om Shanti jurisprudence. Thereafter, we received a message from the Honorable Governor of Himachal Pradesh. Because of his other functions, he could not attend this function. We have also received a messages from Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court Justice Mr. Shivraj V. Patil, Mr. G.P. Mathur from Supreme Court. We have also received various messages from the High Court of the Himachal Pradesh by their Justice L.S. Panta, Kuldeep Chand Sood. We have also received best wishes from Kerala High Court's Justice M. Ramchandran and Mr. Justice J.M. James. We have also received messages and well wishes from Allahabad High Court's former judge, Justice R.K. Mahajan, retired.
Thank you, Brother Sunil Bhai Patel. Now I request Brother Jai Prakash Sharma, who is a senior advocate in Delhi High Court, and he will explain aim and objects of the conference. So now I request Brother Jai Prakash Sharma ji.
Om Shanti. His Lordship, our Chief Guest, Honorable Justice Lakshmanan ji, the other Honorable Judges, Justice Bhikshapati ji, Justice Ishwarya ji, Justice Gupta ji, Brother Ramesh ji, Sister Visha ji, and of course, Madam Mrs. Lakshmanan ji, and all brothers and sisters, children of the Supreme Soul. I hope that every one of us has gone through the folder of the conference, and that contains enough aims and objects about the conference. And in the files we have received, this one article of our BK brother Santaram ji, the spiritual empowerment. I will request you, if we have already not gone through, kindly go through that also. Because our Lordship is to leave before 8 o'clock, and he will leave Mount Abu tonight for Delhi. So we have to be very brief. I wanted to say many things, but I would like to be very brief because of the other programs will go on. You see, first half of the 20th century was spent in the freedom struggle. And that culminated in giving us the Constitution of India. While the deliberations were going on in the Constituent Assembly, I am reminded of our Law Minister Ambedkar, that he said in the Constituent Assembly, probably on 17th or 19th October 1949, that so far we used to blame the British administration for our ills. But now henceforth we shall not be able to blame anybody except ourselves. Nehruji also said in the Constituent Assembly that with regard to the independence of judiciary, that our judges should be strong enough to resist all kinds of pressures from the executive, etc. Nehruji, a little before his death, also confessed that our present predicament is due to deviation from the Gandhian path. And if we, in this light, the Constitution of India came up, and we pledged in the Constitution, in the preamble, justice, rather to secure to all its citizens social, economic, political justice, and also fraternity, and it assures the dignity of the individual. The interpretation of the Constitution is based upon the spirit of its preamble, so the allegiance to the Constitution and the implied faith in its basic philosophy and strategy of action means that judge will secure not only legal justice to the citizens of the country, but also help secure social, economic, and political justice as well. And for this, they will interpret and apply law in that light. I'm reminded when I started my practice in '68, I joined Mr. Sadhu Singh in Supreme Court, a very senior advocate. So during that period, probably in 69 or so, this bank nationalization was being heard by the full bench of the Supreme Court. And Mr. Menon was representing Kerala state. So he said, my lords, the court should not hinder the social progress of the country. So Justice Hegde, I was present, I myself heard this. Justice Hegde immediately remarked, Mr. Menon, we have taken oaths to interpret the Constitution. And Mr. Menon, without losing any movement, immediately retorted, Your Lordship, even oaths can be interpreted. Even oaths can be interpreted. Now you see, I come to Article 51A, which states about the fundamental duties, which speak of compassion for living creatures, to promote harmony, a spirit of common brotherhood, and to develop humanism and a spirit of reform. So the values of humanism, brotherhood, and compassion mean the attitude, treatment based on human considerations, sympathy, or love and goodwill. This means that the act of justice should not be dry and merely legal, but it must have a touch of spirituality. Law should have an orientation of love. I quote our Supreme Court, one line. The Supreme Court of our own country has also said, in what is known as Rajendra Prasad case, we must always have the brooding thought that there is a divinity in every man, and that none is beyond redemption. This was Rajendra Prasad versus State. This was in 79. Justice Holmes of the US also said in this context, the case before us must be considered in the light of our whole experience and not merely in that of what was said 100 years ago. Lao Tse, a Chinese saint, has said that those who have virtues attend to their obligations, and those who have no virtue attend to their claims only. So the first and foremost obligation of every judge and of every individual is to be spiritual for the fulfillment of its profession. The other things will follow. And if there is a purpose behind the creation, for fulfillment of life would mean life, L-I-F-E, love increases forever. Then the life should be defined as love increases forever. Then what is love? L-O-V-E, living on values everlasting. Living on values everlasting. So to fulfill the constitutional obligations, the spirit of common brotherhood, to develop humanism, to reform, having compassion for living creatures, the dignity of the individual, all these things cannot be fulfilled without imbibing the spiritual values, and rather the justice has to be considered as itself as a value in our life. Because justice has to start right from the individual first, then to his family, then the other relations, neighbors, friends, then court, and all, everywhere, at every step, justice is required. So it has to be inculcated itself as a value in our life. With this background, we have arranged this dialogue, this initiative is taken. All right. So with this initiative, this dialogue or conference is being held with the cooperation of all.
Now Dadi has arrived, so we'll give a brief
So I conclude myself now, Dadiji has come, where an army of principles can enter, an army of soldiers cannot. Om Shanti.
हमारे आदरणीय जयप्रकाश भाई ने एम एंड ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ द कॉन्फ्रेंस सुनाया। हम दादी जी आपका तहे दिल से यहाँ पर हमारे जुरिस्ट की सभा के बीच में आपका बहुत बहुत हम स्वागत करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं और बड़े ज़ोर से करतल ध्वनि से हम दादी जी का स्वागत करेंगे और हमारी लता बहन जी दादी जी का फूल के द्वारा सम्मान करेगी और मोहिनी बहन जो हमारे बीच में पधारी हुई हैं उनका भी हम बहुत तहे दिल से स्वागत करते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं।
Respected Dadi Prakash Mani ji, our honorable chief guest who has come all the way from Delhi to inaugurate this conference, Honorable Mr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan and Mrs. Lakshmanan, our Honorable Justice Bhikshapati ji, Honorable Justice Ishwaraya ji, Honorable Justice R.L. Gupta ji, our National Coordinator Brother Jai Prakash ji and Divine Sister Usha ji, and also all the dignitaries participating in this conference from various high courts of India, all the learned guests, and also members of our jurist wing and other brothers and sisters of this divine family. Brother Jai Prakash has already narrated to you aims and object of organizing this type of special conference exclusively for High Court and Supreme Court judges. We wanted to make a beginning in this direction because on 2nd of February 2002, when then Chief Scientific Advisor to the Government of India and now the President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam, met Shiv Baba, the founder of this institution, our Supreme Father. Our Supreme Father blessed him and said to him that you will be attaining higher positions and you will have to do spiritual and social services of the masses also. And one of the directions was to him that he should see that science and spirituality should join hands together. And when they join hands together, then only there will be better social order based on peace, purity, renunciation, etc., etc. Thereafter, on the night he could not sleep. He was thinking and thinking on these directions given to him by Shiv Baba. Recently also when I met him in Delhi, when His Excellency came to inaugurate our Om Shanti Retreat Center, at that time also he repeated the same thing, that yes, he is obsessed with this idea of bringing science and spirituality together to work for the upliftment of humanity. So from that clue, from that direction to him, to bring science and spirituality, our institution has started working on that line. Recently we had a dialogue on the subject Science and Spirituality, Partners in Progress and Prosperity, in which about 350 leading scientists from Western India and Central India came there, and they all agreed that yes, there should be better blending of science and spirituality. And with that aim also they said that we will be working together to see that the new dimension given to the field or to the aim and object of science, merely science not being only sufficient to bring about weapons of destruction, etc. We need spiritual strength and power to face various types of pressures which we are otherwise required to face in our laboratories and other places. Based on that thing, our jurist wing also took the clue that why not bring about a better blending between the judicial process as it is in the courts of law and as it should have been, also on the strength of spiritual empowerment also. Spiritual empowerment helps us in many ways. And from that angle, we have organized this conference. I admire Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam also because ever since then he has changed his mission of life, his vision in life. Even in today's Times of India also, there is a caption in which it is written, they have narrated or they have copied from the speech of President Abdul Kalam that it's a holistic approach to growth. He says that India needs to marry spiritual growth with economic growth. Without that, no amount of venture capital, funding or entrepreneurial push from organizations would make any big difference. We in India, based on our Indian mythology, philosophy, etc., we know that there is a special Sanskrit proverb, Saksharaha Viparitaha Rakshasaha. Same word, Saksharaha, but read from the other side, it becomes Rakshasaha. Ravan also, for example, he was an eminent scholar also, but lacking that spiritual empowerment. With the result, what happened, we know it, and we are celebrating this Navaratri festival on account of that particular act of Ravana also, and ultimately Ravana will be destroyed by all of us on Dasara day. So this is the requirement, you see, of the modern world. I was once discussing with one top-ranking philosopher of USA, and he said that unless and until spirituality is blended with the modern materialistic life, we don't know where we will end. It's true. And he said also that the spiritual message of India should be brought and told to everybody. Then only there will be better mingling and mixture of spirituality with the modern day life techniques, etc. So with this aim, we have organized this special conference. And I am sure all those dignitaries who are participating here will understand and appreciate these efforts, and I am sure they will all join with us in fulfilling our mission. And we would like to see, as I already said on the very first day also, when we were inaugurating this retreat here, that let us convert our courts of laws into temple of justice. Let us have Om Shanti jurisprudence instead of mere jurisprudence. Our sisters and brothers have gone to prisons also, and they have given this spiritual knowledge of Raj Yoga, meditation, etc., etc. And lots of changes have been brought into the minds and hearts of those prisoners also. We in this process give emphasis more on the doer of action rather than action only. Most of our legal proceedings are based on the actions. We try to improve and purify our actions, but what about the doer of action? So this remedial process of improving upon the abilities or characteristics of the doer of action, that is what the task or the domain or the jurisdiction of the spiritual laws also. We would like to bring about a better blending between worldly laws and the divine laws also. So with this aim, we have organized this 3-day conference here, and I have this pleasant duty of welcoming in our midst our respected Divine Dadi Prakash Maniji, our Chief of Brahma Kumaris. She has been our guiding force, and in fact, she only said that yes, you should organize this special conference. In fact, we're trying to organize this conference since last 5 years, but in our last April 2003 planning meeting, our Dadiji said, gave a direction, suggestion that we should organize a special conference exclusively for High Court and Supreme Court judges. That was in April 2003 in our annual planning meeting. We again accepted that suggestion, and we are here as a part of fulfillment of that direction given to us by Dadiji. So I welcome Dadiji on behalf of all of us. I welcome also Honorable Mr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan and his wife Mrs. Lakshmanan, who have kindly consented to be here and participate in this conference and inaugurate this conference also. Mrs. Lakshmanan could not be with us for the first 2 days because she had some fever and she was medically advised not to participate or move out of her, and she was confined to a room in Circuit House. Then I also welcome our learned Trimurti judges here sitting on the dais, Justice Bhikshapati, Justice Ishwariya, and our divine brother also, Justice R.L. Gupta. Justice Kudushi, who also is signatory to our invitation letter, he is on his way to participate in this conference. There was some problem with his car, and before about 1 hour he was near Sirohi, about 80 kilometers from here. And he said that I am trying my level best to be in time for this conference. So I welcome all the 3 dignitaries also on the dais. In fact, when we requested them, will you sign this invitation letter, which has been drafted so nicely by Mr. Justice Krishna Iyer, and Justice Kudusi, Justice Bhikshapati, and Justice Ishwariya willingly agreed to sign our invitation letter, and we have to play the role of host in organizing this conference. Justice R.L. Gupta is always here to help us in all ways and means. I remember when he was sitting judge of Delhi High Court, he in our conference sang a song in praise of and memory of sweet Shiv Baba. And at that time, Mr. Justice Sarad Manohar of Bombay High Court was sitting next to me. And he said that, look, for the first time, I am listening or a sitting judge singing a song in presence of a large audience, in front of the large audience in this conference. It shows his respect and regard and love for the task which is part of this conference. That is what Justice Sarad Manohar said about him. And we always value guidance given to us by Mr. Justice R.L. Gupta. We also respect and we also we welcome in our midst our divine sister Mohini ji. She will be also conducting here today guided meditation and help us in attaining spiritual empowerment through the power of, or through the process of meditation. Brother Jai Prakash, I know he is very busy. His son's marriage is there next month. And you know, there are so many things to be done when there is a marriage in the family. But even then, in spite of that, he has come here, and therefore I welcome him also. I welcome all of you here also. I understand you had also, because originally we were thinking that due to Dasara holidays, there will be participation by a large number of judges of High Court and Supreme Court. We find that due to Dasara, most of them have their own family engagements also, and because of that, they are not in a position to come here. They have suggested some other date when we can organize a nice conference. Justice Lakshmanan also has suggested a nice conference. And I am glad to inform you that we have 4 days conference beginning from 30th of May for 4 days in either it will be in Mount Abu or in Abu Road, depending on the number of participants. Normally we have participants from various, participants from judiciary, and also it will be open to all advocates and other jurists also. We normally have 1,500 delegates for such conference, and if that number is there, we will have that conference in our Shantivan, because our Shantivan auditorium has sitting capacity for 20,000 people. It's a vast, big auditorium, and it's a nice auditorium there also. We have also conference hall and all those things. Let us see what happens. And therefore, not only welcoming you, all of you here, I also extend as the chairperson of Jurist Wing to participate in our forthcoming main big conference that will be held for 4 days beginning with 30th of May 2004. With these words, I once again welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and also in the audience also. Thank you very much.
धरती से अशांति का अंधकार मिटाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, विश्व शांति की ज्योत जगाओ।
Now I invite all the retired and sitting judges who are present in the audience. They should come on the dais and light the candles. All the judges, all, you are invited here on the dais. आइए,
शिव पिता को
आप सभी आइएगा,
याद करके पवित्र बन जाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, विश्व शांति की ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत जगाओ, विश्व शांति की ज्योत जगाओ, विश्व शांति की ज्योत जगाओ।
As well, the wives of the judges also should come on the dais.
Raja Yogini, Dadi Prakash Mani ji, Honorable judges of various high courts, past, present and future, because I say that one divine brother is here, soon he will become a judge. We wish him to become a judge very early. Divine brothers and sisters, Brother Jai Prakash Sharma, Brother Ramesh Shah, Sister Mohini Ben, Honorable Mr. Justice Kudisi, Honorable Mr. Justice Bhikshabadi, Honorable Mr. Justice Ishwariya, Honorable Mr. Justice Gupta, National Coordinator Sister Usha, other distinguished invitees, divine brothers and sisters.
It gives me immense pleasure to be among all of you in this inaugural session of the National Dialogue on Spiritual Empowerment for Jurists. Empowerment of the jurist is the need of the day to rejuvenate them to fulfill the expectations of the society and repose faith and confidence in this justice delivery system. Law enforcement or sustenance of law and order is becoming a prime issue day by day. The quantum of filing of the cases in the courts and the cumulative growth in its rate is giving us an indication that there is a need of deep concern in this matter worldwide. Merely increasing the number of courts and the number of judicial authorities, judges, may not be the solution for this. There is a need for an attitudinal change, an overall structural change in the society, which should be brought about in all walks of life of the community. The increase in the number of people approaching the judiciary for proper justice shows their confidence of getting proper justice from the judiciary, but the matter of concern is that this increase is proving us that there is a constant increase of injustice outside in the society. The basic spirit of our Constitution of India is to provide each and every person of the nation, irrespective of race, religion, caste, community, and social status, with equal opportunity, and the structure of the Constitution is built with the bricks of moral and ethical values, which have really made the whole nation stand in spite of facing so many adverse situations. Though the judiciary is only one of the three organs of the state, it plays a very responsible role in building up the confidence and integrity of the nation. It is like the foundation of the nation. This is the reason which makes the jurists of the country to think about the future of the nation. It is not the time to think about some permanent solution for these problems. Is it not the time to bring about a change in the attitudes of the people? Is it not the time to make them realize more about their responsibilities along with their rights? It is said that prevention is better than cure. Doctors deal with the problems of physical and mental health of the patients. It is said that the social health is also an important factor. I feel the jurists are those doctors who take care of the overall social health of the society at large. Only when there is a problem in the social health, a person approaches jurist, doctor of social health. That is the reason why we all come together here today from different parts of the country, spending so much of our time and resources to find out some suggestions for preventive measures. Yes, prevention is better than cure in many ways. The punishment and sentence we give is in principle to bring about a change in the behavior of a person or a criminal. The way spirit is to make him realize the mistake and change his behavior. Any effort in bringing about this realization before breaking the law is highly appreciable and is in fact strengthening the law and order of the nation. The value system of the culture of our nation is in fact protecting the structure of justice. There is a need to strengthen this value system. Values like truthfulness, non-violence, selfless services, honesty, tolerance, sincerity, etc., when inculcated with dedication, will solve so many present-day problems. It will promote a natural law-abiding culture. It is wonderful to note that the basic spirit of spiritual education of any religion is primarily based on inculcating such values as universal brotherhood. It means to see every human being as a child of God and as his own brother. Then he shares his resources with his brothers who are in need of it. Spirituality teaches selfless service and having a feeling of global family. When spirituality is inculcated in practical life, a person becomes a natural embodiment of moral and ethical values. The nation should now give birth to a new generation with tremendous strength of moral values and with an uncompromising will towards the spirit of truth, justice, and non-violence. This is possible only when the elder generation sets an example before them. The spirit of our profession is not calculative, arguments for winning over the case, but is for the protection of justice. Legal profession has a vital role to play in the administration of justice, not merely as representing one of the parties to the litigation, but as officers of the court. The profession has a commitment to the people to protect their legal and fundamental rights. But unfortunately, over the years, the legal profession appears to have put the true purpose of the profession on a back burner and allowed aggressive materialism to overtake it. Moral values and professional ethics have suffered in the bargain. The bar and the bench have to act collectively to retrieve the image of the profession by taking stringent steps against malpractices and their practitioners. For discharging the judicial obligations, many challenges have to be met in order to provide inexpensive, speedy, and unpolluted justice to the people. We should respond to the hope and aspirations of the citizens. Unless the justice delivery system functions smoothly, cordially, effectively, and maintains balance between love and law, it will lose its vibrancy in delivering the justice. Function of judiciary to administer justice according to law, and in doing so, the system must respond to the hopes and aspirations of the people who have reposed confidence in the judiciary to secure justice. The progress of the society depends upon proper application of law to the needy in achieving the constitutional goal, that is, justice, liberty, equality, peace, purity, and happiness. We believe that once upon a time, Satyuga, paradise, the age of truth, was existing on this earth. But presently, we are living in a world of fear, insecurity, distrust, intolerance, hatred, violence, and injustice. We are living in a world where human moral and spiritual values stand at a distance. Consequently, happiness, which is the birthright of every human being, has become an elusive dream. The man is suffering from hopelessness, carelessness, and depression. Material progress is like a squeezed sugarcane, devoid of its just juice and sweetness. The root cause of the global injustice is because of sex, anger, greed, attachment, arrogance, alcoholism, obscene literature, peacelessness, etc. The evils like eve-teasing, rape, abduction, prostitution, use of filthy and abusive language, obscenity in art and literature, as well as on the screen and stage, exhibition of some human nude pictures in commercial advertisements, instances of divorce, and the suicide and diseases and various kinds are all attributable to sex lust. Renunciation of this vice of sex will lead to establishment of a healthy society. Similarly, if the voice of anger, hate, and malice are eschewed for establishment of peace in the globe, we should establish peace with us. Self-transformation leads to the universal transformation. The present-day society requires only those quintessential, fundamental principles, whether within history, philosophy, ethics, culture, jurisprudence, or other disciplines, which ennoble attitudes and behaviors and which improve human understanding and the quality of life. It is the need of the day to introduce value-based education in legal system and in law colleges, create men and women of character based on the values and integrity. My message to the jurists present here, of course many of them are elders, I am not competent to advise them, this is only a message. My message to the jurists, that the jurists must be fair, righteous, upright in their work or profession and in all other walks of life. Jurists shall work together in achieving the goal of objectives of the jurisprudence and spiritual prudence in promoting the culture of peace, justice, and harmony. We must devote some time daily on introspection, meditation, silence, and study for our spiritual and moral development. We shall endeavor in affirming the brotherhood of all human beings for achieving the spiritual values and divine qualities. Be good and do good. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Universal love and benedictions, as is being imparted by this spiritual organization. We shall endeavor at all stages of life in rendering positive and substantial justice to all, more especially to the poorer and underprivileged section of the society with affordable cost and quicker pace for achieving purified and holistic world. Every judge in India bears faith in and allegiance to the Constitution of India. This faith and allegiance have a meaning only if he truly shares the social, economic, and political philosophy that forms the vital parts and the background of the Constitution and determines its thrust and its strategy of action. This philosophy and strategy are reflected, besides other parts of the Constitution, in its preamble, directive principles of state policy, fundamental rights, and fundamental duties, etc., etc. The directive principles of state policy depict the ambitions and aspirations of the fathers of the Constitution. These directive principles indicate the objects and goals of the Republic and also lay the strategy of action to achieve these. So, judiciary, which constitutes one of the four pillars of the state and is an important agency empowered to work for realization of these goals, must interpret, apply, and enforce the law in accordance with the guidelines provided by these directive principles of state policy. The very attitude of a judge towards a criminal ought to be spiritual, and a reformist attitude instead of merely judicative or punitive, for before a person committed a crime, he was a normal being and he can be reformed to become a normal person again. Therefore, goes the saying, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. It would therefore be wrong to think that a criminal law was always a criminal and would always be a criminal. Let the judiciary and the law enforcing agencies, therefore, not snatch away from him his sense of individual dignity, his feeling of respect, and let not his divine spark be attacked so hard as to give smoke instead of a shine. At the same time, your scales say that you have to strike a balance. There should not be a compromise in delivering the justice. Steps towards transformation and realization are highly appreciable. I really appreciate the attempt of the jurist wing of Brahma Kumaris for taking an initiative in this direction and working for the upliftment of the society through their noble services. I thank the organizers for having given me this divine opportunity to charge our souls in this spiritual environment. I request all the participants of this conference to take the maximum benefit of the charged spiritual atmosphere and heartfully participate in all the sessions and group discussions and take the maximum benefit of this divine opportunity. I once again heartfully thank Dadi Prakashmani ji and all other divine sisters and brothers and all the organizers of this jurist wing. I am happy to inaugurate this session and I declare that the session is inaugurated. My good wishes and hearty felicitations to all the members of the meet here, and in particular, my revered brothers of the judiciary. I thank one and all of you once again for this opportunity. Thank you all.